Ladies and gentlemen, today we're diving into Stoicism, but not the heavy, philosophical kind that feels like a lecture from ancient Greece. No, we're talking about Stoicism made simple. Chances are, many of you are already familiar with Stoicism to some degree, right? The benefits of practicing it are pretty straightforward and easy to grasp. It helps us stay calm in the face of adversity, builds self-discipline, reduces stress, boosts resilience, and frees up mental energy for meaningful action. It's about personal growth, strength, and yes, even happiness. In short, Stoicism offers a path to becoming stronger, wiser, and more fulfilled. But here's the catch. Like any lifestyle or practice, Stoicism has a universal challenge. It's hard to stick with. It's tough to put into practice consistently, and it's easy to get discouraged. You might try it for a day or two, feel inspired and think, wow, this is great. But then, life happens and you slip back into old habits. This talk is born out of that struggle, the pain of finding Stoicism hard to grasp, hard to apply, and easy to abandon. That's why I've titled this Stoicism Made Simple with the emphasis on simple. If we can make it easy to understand, it'll be easier to do, right? My goal today is to make Stoicism not just clear but actionable, so you can actually apply it in your daily life. Let's start with a little story to set the stage. One day, there's this guy named Tom. Tom's a self-proclaimed Stoic, a real-deal, hardcore follower of the philosophy. On a sunny morning, he slips on his flip-flops and heads to the local market to buy some meat for lunch. He stops at his usual butcher stall, but today, something catches him off guard. The price of meat is insane. It's way higher than usual. So Tom, trying to play it cool, asks the butcher, "Hey, how much is the meat per pound?" He already knows it's steep, but he's fishing for confirmation. The butcher replies, "It's $10 a pound today, buddy." Tom's eyes widen. "What? I usually pay like $5 a pound. Why is it so expensive?" The butcher shrugs and says, "Prices have skyrocketed, man. Haven't you seen the news? This is the going rate now. Check the other stalls if you want. They're all charging the same." Now, here's where it gets interesting. Instead of haggling or getting upset, Tom just gives a slight smile and mutters under his breath, quietly, but loud enough for those nearby to hear, "Well, okay then. I can't control the price, but I can control how I see this." Isn't this the perfect chance to practice Stoicism? That little mumble, though soft, reaches the butcher's ears. She chuckles to herself, thinking, wow, this guy's a serious Stoic. Most people would be fuming if the price doubled. But he's just standing there, grinning. Tom notices the butcher eyeing him and winks. "You're right," he says. "I'm trying to live the Stoic way. I accept what I can't control, and I'm cool with it." The butcher's impressed. "That's awesome," she says, smiling. "So, how much meat do you want today?" Tom laughs, they both share a moment, and plot twist, he decides not to buy any meat at all. Now, that story's mostly for laughs, but it does give us a quick refresher on Stoicism. In plain, no-nonsense terms, Stoicism is about responding wisely to life's challenges. When something happens, you can react impulsively, angrily, recklessly, or you can choose a smarter, calmer, happier way to respond. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus put it brilliantly, "You are not disturbed by things, but by the views you hold about them." Isn't that profound? It's not the event itself that messes with you. It's how you interpret and react to it. You get to choose whether you respond with frustration or with peace. Another great thinker, Viktor Frankl, echoed this idea. He said, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response." Epictetus and Frankl, centuries apart, share the same insight. Your reaction to what happens matters, and it's within your control. That choice can transform your life. Picture this, you're standing at a crossroads. Something happens, some external event, usually something annoying or negative. It's like a trigger hitting you. Normally, you might follow the red arrow, the path of instinct. That's the road of anger, complaints, or frustration. It's the default human reaction to bad situations, and it's totally understandable. But there's another option, the green arrow. This is the path of calm, wise, and happy responses. It's not the easy road, but it's the one Stoicism points us toward. The secret to Stoicism made simple lies in choosing that green arrow. Master it, and you've cracked the code to practicing Stoicism in a way that's practical and approachable. Let's dive into some real-life examples to show you how. Example 1. The morning traffic jam. Imagine this. You wake up, put on your favorite outfit, and head out the door, ready to tackle the day. But then, bam, traffic. A massive jam. Or maybe it's the end of a long workday, you're exhausted, craving some downtime, and you hit the same gridlock. Traffic is one of those universal triggers that can ruin your mood. Studies show it's a major source of stress for a lot of people. So you're stuck in this mess. You're at that crossroads again. The red arrow beckons. You could get mad, grumble, honk your horn pointlessly, or snap at the people around you. You might even weave through traffic, or, let's be real, think about breaking a few rules to get ahead. That's the instinctive reaction, and it's super common. I get it. Most of us have been there. But let's pause and consider the consequences. If you're fuming in traffic, that anger doesn't just vanish when you reach your destination. You carry it with you into the office, into your home. You might snap at a coworker or argue with a family member. That frustration can linger, poisoning your interactions and even damaging relationships. For example, a harsh word to a colleague could strain your work dynamic long-term. Or maybe you're so worked up that you take it out on your loved ones, creating tension at home. And let's not forget safety. Aggressive driving in traffic can lead to accidents or close calls. The red arrow is a slippery slope. Now let's try the green arrow. It's not easy, especially at first, because it goes against your instincts. But it's worth it. Start with a simple thought. I'm stuck in traffic. I can't change that. So, how can I make this moment meaningful? That shift in perspective is the heart of Stoicism. Here are some practical ideas. Learn something new. If you've been studying a language, use this time to review vocabulary. Stuck in traffic? Great, that's 10 minutes to practice your Spanish or French. Turn a frustrating moment into a productive one. Prepare for the day. If you've got a meeting coming up, mentally rehearse what you'll say. Use the time to organize your thoughts and feel more confident. Practice breathing exercises. Deep, slow breaths can calm your nervous system and lower stress. Bonus points if you're wearing a mask to filter out the exhaust fumes. Breathing exercises activate your parasympathetic nervous system, counteracting the stress response. Plan ahead. If it's the evening, think about dinner. What will you cook? Or maybe consider how you'll connect with your family. What's a question you could ask your kid to make them feel heard? Something like, what was the best part of your day? Or, is there anything you're excited about tomorrow? These small moments of reflection can strengthen your relationships. Traffic, which seemed like a waste of time, suddenly becomes an opportunity. By choosing the green arrow, you're not just surviving the moment, you're growing from it. And here's the thing. Don't underestimate these small practices. They might seem simple, but their impact is huge. Compare the person who follows the red arrow, stressed, angry, and carrying that negativity all day, to the person who follows the green arrow, arriving at their destination calm and centered. Which one would you rather be? Here's a pro tip. Take some time to list out the things that trigger you in daily life. Start with something as common as traffic. Grab a piece of paper and draw 2 arrows. Under the red arrow, write down how you usually react and what consequences follow. Under the green arrow, brainstorm ways you could respond differently, ways that align with Stoicism. Do this exercise regularly, and over time, say a month or 2, you'll notice a shift in your mindset. You'll feel calmer, more resilient, and yes, happier. Example 2, failure in business. Let's move to another scenario, one that hits close to home for many. Failing in a business venture. Say you've saved up $5,000, maybe it's your life savings, maybe you borrowed some of it. You decide to start an online clothing store. It seems like a safe bet. Clothes are universal, the market's huge, and you're confident you can make it work. But reality hits hard. Sales are slow, inventory piles up, and you're losing money fast. Maybe 9 out of 10 people in your shoes would call it a flop. Here's where the 2 arrows come into play again. The red arrow is the instinctive path. self-pity, blame, and despair. You might beat yourself up, thinking, I'm such a failure. Or you might blame external factors. Facebook ads are too expensive, the algorithm's killing my reach, or customers are too cheap to buy quality. You look at your unsold inventory and feel sick. Maybe you shove it in a corner so you don't have to see it. The lost $5,000 is a lot of money haunts you. You feel defeated, broke, and ready to give up. I get it. That reaction is human, and I empathize with anyone who's been there. But let's be honest. The red arrow doesn't lead anywhere good. It just drags you deeper into discouragement. Now let's try the green arrow. Start by accepting reality. Okay, I failed. The money's gone. Moping won't change that. What can I do now? This shift in mindset opens up possibilities. Here are some ideas. Liquidate inventory. If you've got stock, sell it at a discount to recover some cash. Reach out to friends, family, or local groups. Maybe even set up a pop-up sale or go old school and drive around with a megaphone advertising your deals. Experiment with new strategies. Try live streaming on social media to showcase your products. Join online groups or forums and promote your items with compelling offers. Research keywords like how to sell clothes online and learn from free resources. Seek advice. Reach out to someone who's succeeded in business. Send them an email or message sharing your story. Even if only 1 out of 10 responds, that's one more mentor than you had before. Reframe failure. There's a concept from philosopher Karl Popper called falsification. In simple terms, it's about learning from what doesn't work. Each failure is a chance to eliminate a flawed approach and try something new. Think of your $5,000 loss as an investment in learning. If you start with $5,000 and fail, you might still have $500 left to try again, plus the knowledge of what not to do. The green arrow isn't about ignoring the pain of failure. It's about responding in a way that keeps you moving forward. Instead of wallowing, you're problem-solving. Instead of giving up, you're learning. This approach aligns with the Stoic idea that failure isn't the end. It's a stepping stone. And here's a broader point. The internet is full of free resources on marketing, sales, and entrepreneurship. A few Google searches can unlock a wealth of knowledge. The catch? You have to stay focused on the green arrow. I can't promise you'll succeed overnight, but I can promise that sticking to this mindset will keep you from repeating the same mistakes. Closing thoughts. There's an old saying, practice makes perfect. The green arrow might feel awkward at first, but the more you choose it, the better you get. I've noticed something when people come to me feeling stuck or hopeless. They're almost always stuck on the red arrow. They've followed their instincts into a dead end. So, here's my challenge to you. If the green arrow seems too simple, why not try it? If it's so easy, what's stopping you? We often overlook simple solutions because they don't feel flashy or complex enough. But that's the beauty of Stoicism. It's practical, not fancy. You don't need a PhD to apply it. All you need is a piece of paper, a pen, and the willingness to choose the green arrow. Let me clarify one thing, though. When I say Stoicism made simple, I mean it's easy to understand and approachable. But that doesn't mean it's effortless. It still takes work, grit, and commitment. There's no shortcut to rewiring your habits. You'll have to put in the effort, maybe even shed some sweat and tears. But that's what makes it worthwhile. So grab that paper and pen. Draw your 2 arrows. Start listing the triggers in your life and how you can respond differently. Choose the green arrow and watch how it transforms your perspective, your actions, and your life. That's the power of Stoicism. Simple, strong, and life-changing. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Stay stoic and keep choosing the green arrow.